There are so many different builds you can run in Dead by Daylight, but what ones are the best? In this video, I'm going to show 5 different strong chase builds that you can use, and I'll be doing a part 2 of this video, so if you want to see that, consider subscribing. First build is a Dead Hard build that buffs you like crazy from being injured, giving you extra volt speed and haste. The perks consist of Dead Hard, Made for This, Resilience, and Hope. Dead Hard is a David King teachable, and this perk activates once you're unhooked. When injured, you'll be able to activate 0.5 seconds of endurance that prevents you from being downed by any means from the killer. The only way this perk will not work is if you mistime it or you're in the mending state. Second perk is Made for This. This is a Gabriel Soma teachable from the Ends Transmission DLC. Made for This comes with 2 different abilities in one perk. The first ability is that when you're injured, if you fully heal someone, you gain 10 seconds of endurance. The second ability is when you're in the mending state, you gain 3% haste until you fully mend yourself. This is perfect synergy with Dead Hard because when you actually hit your DH, you should be in the mending state. Third perk is Resilience, and this is literally just one of the best perks in the game, and it's completely free. When injured, you get a 9% speed buff to literally every action in the game, including your volt speed. This means you should be able to loot way more reliably because you won't be getting hit through every single window. Final perk is Hope. When all gens are completed, you get a permanent 7% haste. This does stack with the haste from Made for This as well, so you get a possibility of running 10% faster in endgame. Plus, unlike other anti-tunnel perks, Dead Hard doesn't deactivate at the end of the game, so you can literally still use it. Second build is a flashlight save build. This build allows you to get consistent saves almost every single game, as long as Lightborn doesn't enter the building. The perks consist of Iron Will, Fixated, Inner Focus, and Background Player. Iron Will is a Jake Park teachable, and this perk makes your Grunts of Pains completely silent, but it does deactivate when you're exhausted. This perk is super important when going for flashlight saves, because without it, the killer's 100% going to hear you as you try going for that save. So this way, by bringing Iron Will, even when you're injured, you can still get close for those saves. Second perk is Fixated, and this is a Nancy Wheeler teachable from the Stranger Things DLC. This perk allows you to walk 20% faster and see your own scratch marks. This perk is meant to help us sneak into position without leaving scratch marks or making any noise. Third perk is Inner Focus. This is a Haddie teachable, and she is from the Roots of Dread DLC. Inner Focus comes with 2 abilities. First one is you get to see the scratch marks of other survivors, and the second part is when a survivor loses a health state, it reveals the killer's location for 10 seconds. This makes it super easy to safely track the killer and avoid line of sight with them. Because the moment a killer sees you coming with a flashlight save, they're going to be on guard the entire time, making the save almost impossible. Fourth and final perk is Background Player. This is a Renato teachable, and he's from the Tools of Torment DLC. This perk activates when a teammate is picked up. You will then go 150% normal speed. This gives you the ability to quickly get in position and get that proper angle for a flashlight or flashbang save. Third build is a Balanced Landing build. This build is the strongest in my opinion when comboed with an inside map offering. The perk consists of Balanced Landing, Finesse, Resilience, and Adrenaline. Balanced Landing is a Neo Carlson perk, and this perk activates after you do a great fall. It will then reduce the stagger by 75%, suppress your noise while falling, and grant you a 150% speed buff for 3 seconds. Afterwards, you'll be exhausted for 40 seconds. Second perk is Finesse, and this is a Lara Croft teachable, and she's from the Tomb Raider DLC. This perk allows you to vault 20% faster while healthy, and once used, it goes on a 30-second cooldown. Realize I did say this only works while healthy, so the moment you get injured, this perk does deactivate. Third perk is Resilience, and we already went over this one already. It's one of the best perks in the game. It gives you a 9% speed buff to literally everything while injured, including volt speed. Final perk is Adrenaline, and this is a Meg Thomas teachable. Once all gens are completed, you'll instantly go up a health state and run 150% normal speed for 3 seconds. Fourth build is a Sprint Burst / anti-tunnel build. This build hands down has become one of my favorite builds to run in the game. The perks used are Sprint Burst, Fixated, Off the Record, and Blood Rush. Sprint Burst is a Meg Thomas teachable, and this perk activates anytime you go into a sprint. You will then gain 150% normal movement speed for 3 seconds and then get exhausted for 40 seconds. Second perk is Fixated. This is a Nancy Wheeler teachable from the Stranger Things DLC and allows you to walk 20% faster. This is great when comboed with Sprint Burst, so you can still move around the map quickly without burning your Sprint Burst. Third perk is Off the Record. This is a Zarina teachable, and she's from the Chains of Hate DLC. This perk activates once unhooked and will give you 80 seconds of endurance until you do some conspicuous action. But it also prevents aura reading perks from seeing you and makes your injured noises completely silent until those 80 seconds are up. Final perk is Blood Rush. This is a Renato teachable from the Tools of Torment DLC. This perk also activates once you're unhooked and stays active for 60 seconds or until you perform a conspicuous action. While active, you can instantly recover from the exhausted status effect, meaning you can sprint burst twice in the same chase. Off the record, sprint burst and blood rush have to be some of the best synergy I've seen in perks in a long while. Fifth and final build is the Volt Speed build. This build is definitely the most reliable because of the ability of seeing all pallets and windows, but also being able to not get hit through every single window that you vault. The perks consist of Windows of Opportunity, Lithe, Resilience, and Finesse. Windows of Opportunity is a Kate Denson teachable from the Curtain Call DLC. This gives you the ability to see all pallets, windows, and breakable doors from 32 meters away from you. This will allow you to loop at your best and never end up in a dead zone. Lithe is a Feng Min teachable, and this is from the Spark of Madness DLC. After vaulting a window, you get 150% movement speed for 3 seconds. You will then get exhausted also for 40 seconds. Third perk is Finesse. This is a Lara Croft teachable, and she's from the Tomb Raider DLC. Finesse allows you to vault 20% faster once every 30 seconds and deactivates once you get injured. While Finesse and Lithe are up, you're basically unable to get hit during that time, even if the killer mind games you. Final perk is Resilience. When injured, you gain a 9% speed buff to literally everything, including your volt speed. I think this build is definitely the most reliable, and I strongly recommend it. That's going to do it for this video. Feel free to let me know what you think is a really good chase build, and I'll see you guys in the next video.